All right, we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna do an introduction first for you. For the people that don't know, this is MsVonnaB. Your handle is what, MsVonnaB?
Yep.
Okay. And I guess if you maybe you can do a quick little detailed explanation of what you do and who you are, if you don't mind.
Okay, yes. My name is LaVonna, but I go by MsVonnaB. That's my stage name. I'm now a singer full-time singer and artist. And I'm really into what this Zoom is about, manifestation and vision boards and just being in alignment with what you want to manifest.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, the purpose here is just to kind of give the people that ends up tuning in to this a brief little description of how you manifest things. And for the people that don't know, manifestation is basically having a thought process or a feeling or of something that you want, being able to visualize and put your mind on something that you want to actually bring into your physical life. And, as a result of where you put your mind at, you put your feelings and emotions at, then it ends up manifesting into a physical experience or item for you. So in the case of MsVonnaB here, MsVonnaB, we actually have a relationship far as music is concerned. So I record MsVonnaB from time to time here and there. So we've been having good responses on the music that we've been creating. So thanks to her, for being a good writer and an amazing writer and amazing singer. I'm sorry. And so we talk about manifestation a whole lot. We talk about, putting your thoughts in a certain place and doing certain things in order to bring in things that you want, which may include visualization, meditation, or vision boards. And in the case of MsVonnaB, she happens to do a vision board process. And I guess the process may include those other things that I mentioned as well, meditation and visualization. Yeah. And for some reason, she has some type of technique that works pretty well, because what she ends up putting on her vision boards ends up manifesting a lot. And it's been from people to items to places to stage to a lot of different things like that. So if you don't mind, I'll let you go into some of the things that you've manifested that you would like to share with people.
Yes, I started manifesting like consistently starting last year. In February 2020, the first thing, I don't know if you remember me telling you about this, but the first thing that I manifested on my vision board was a new apartment.
Yep.
And after that, I manifested success, I guess you would call it, with my first single. Like before 2020, I've always wanted to put out music. But you know this, I'm always shy and just didn't really want to put it out there. But I really wanted to take it seriously in 2020, even before the pandemic hit. So that was on my vision board. But once the pandemic hit, I was able to put it out and really, I guess, put more effort into it because I wasn't working, because I was furloughed. And a lot of celebrities, or not a lot, but a couple of celebrities at that time in March 2020 reached out to me and they loved the song. And from there, I was able to manifest meeting Mario, the singer, Mario, Neo. I have a working relationship with him now. And my music is doing well. I manifested another apartment. It's my new apartment. I just moved here. Thank you. And I manifested relationships too, not like as in romantic relationships, but like partnerships and relationships with people like Neo and like you, who I can talk about this type of stuff with. So I manifested a lot consistently in 2020, and it was because of the vision board. I'm a visual person anyway, so I just use visualization every single day. And then the meditation and just feel it like being vibrationally aligned with what I wanted to manifest. So,
okay. Most definitely. So I guess we'll kind of give some details to some of these people that want to, see what your process is like and hope that they can actually, take some of the things down and actually apply it in their life.
I don't have my real vision board with me, but when I started out, I brought my stuff to my table because starting out, I don't know, incense is my incense holder, but incense just really put me in like that state of calm, like, okay, I'm calm, because I never want to be like anxious when I do it. I just want to be like, okay, whatever I put on here is going to manifest. But these are the types of, this is what I started on with last year, just these small ones. The ones I have now are like big, they fit on this whole wall right here. But I started out with these, and I would print out pictures like for my apartment that I manifested. I printed out the exact apartment and the number. I think I told you this. I was in the exact same apartment that I wanted to be in. Like, yeah, the name, I mean, the number and everything. So I printed out the number. And one thing that I think a lot of people don't mention, I don't know if other people do this, but I actually write before I like glue everything on here, wherever, like where my apartment would be, I would write, I am in this apartment. This apartment feels like home, like me and my son, you know, da da da. So I write the intentions before I put the pictures on there. And then after I have everything on there, I really just sit here like with my incense and everything, and I meditate. And I just really, really put myself in that apartment, or I put myself in the feeling of how it'll feel like if my songs blow up or reach certain people. I put myself in the feeling of like having conversations like the conversations we have about meditating and everything like that, so that I can manifest those connections with people. And after that, I hang it up on my wall and I visualize it every single day. Every day. I look at it multiple times a day. The intentions that I write on there, if I can remember them, I say them every day as I'm looking at the pictures. I say them before I go to bed. Like, I'm kind of OG with it because it works though for me.
So you say it multiple times a day. I know you mentioned writing down the desired thing that you would want, and then placing a picture there as well. So you write some sort of phrase or sentence in regards to it as first, and then you put a picture there that resembles that too.
I put the picture on top of it. So it's like, I don't know. I just really believe like if you write it down and you believe it's going to happen, it's going to happen. After you write it, it's already done. That's how I feel. So that's why I write like whatever intention that I have for manifesting it before I put the picture on top of it.
Exactly, because writing is a physical manifestation in itself. So, you know, you come in with an idea that you have here that's not actually tangible to physical, and then, you know, implementing the handwriting portion of it and actually putting it down on something. Most definitely. So it was some other questions that I wanted to ask in regards to that. So I know you mentioned going over your particular phrases multiple times a day, as well as, you know, going over the pictures and putting yourself in the place that you want to be at as well. So can you go into more detail with that process or about that process? I know you said multiple times a day. When you're sitting there, you have your incense. Do you close your eyes? Do you know, kind of get into some breathing or a calm space? What do you do with that?
Well, for me, I start with breathing, and it's not really like a specific technique. It's just however I feel like can put me in a state of calm. So I breathe in and then hold it maybe for a couple seconds and then breathe out. And sometimes like when I'm breathing in, you know, positivity. And when I breathe out, you know, whatever negative feelings that I have or, you know, stuff like that. And then that kind of gets me grounded and centered before I start actually visualizing what's on my board. But I don't do that part multiple times a day. I do that like once a day.
What time of day do you do that? Is it morning, evening, night, afternoon?
I usually do it right before I go to bed because then I dream about whatever is on my board. Typically I dream about it. And so that's like an extra form of manifesting too, when you're dreaming about it and it's getting in your subconscious mind. So
exactly. It was another question I had. So you go over the phrases multiple times a day. Just when you think about it, is it any particular amount of times a day that you go for, or is it just whenever you think about the specific item? And is that one item at a time as well?
Sometimes it's one item at a time. A lot of times it's just all of it because I want it all to manifest, and, you know, it's divine time. So whenever it's meant for me to have it. So I do it all together sometimes, but like for my apartment, that was like all day long. I was, before that, I didn't have my own place at all. So I was ready to get into my place. And I think it only took like 2 weeks. And before, I think I told you this before, a few years ago, I moved into those apartments, but I couldn't afford it. And before I manifested at that time, I really couldn't afford it then either. But I put that on my board that I would be able to afford the rent amount, all the utilities and groceries and everything. And within 2 weeks, I got a job, a bartending job. So I was making like a lot in tips. And then I was able to get approved for the apartment too within 2 weeks. And I was thinking about that all day long.
Okay.
So like a good 8 times a day. And
Okay.
then in addition to like long visualization before bed.
Okay. So when you in those 8 times a day that you actually think about it, are you doing something? Are you saying that particular phrase that you put down in regards to the apartment? Are you taking a quick moment to visualize yourself there, or what are you doing in those 8 times?
Yeah, basically just taking a moment to visualize myself there and like just actually feeling it. Like even when I was at work, like if I would think about it, I was making a drink, I would just in my mind be like, I'm in my apartment. Like I'm in my apartment making myself a cocktail, you know, stuff like that. So yeah. And I didn't take like a long time, 8 times a day, just a few seconds.
Okay. Well, that's dope. And so what would you say is one of the quickest things you've manifested? I know that took 2 weeks for that apartment. So what's
I think that one was the quickest.
Quickest one? Okay.
I think because well, yeah, that was the quickest. Okay. But so I manifested some bigger things that took, you know, a lot less time than what I thought it would. So
okay. So what's some of those? Can you go into some of those things?
Yes, like not meeting him in person, but being in contact with Ray Daniels. He's a big music executive, if you don't know who he is. And I manifested, because I just really, really wanted to learn from him initially, like, because at the start of the pandemic, he was doing a lot of virtual interviews and just talking about, you know, being an independent artist, being a signed artist. And he's just so wise. And he uses,
I just listened to him interview this morning on Beehive, but carry on.
Yeah, he uses vision boards and stuff too, I found out. But I think it was in was it January? I think it was in January. I did a new board and I put him on my board. I just put a big picture and Ray Daniels and said, you know, I'll have a working relationship with him one day. And I think that was like 3 weeks later. Okay. I know it was before February. His team reached out to me about their On the Radar series that they do for independent artists. And then after that, he started watching my stories and stuff like that and like being in contact. So I think that was big. Like I wasn't expecting to like meet him within 3 weeks of me putting it on my board. So
yeah, that's dope. Congratulations again on that.
Thank you.
Another thing, I know you mentioned Neo as well. So was that a similar story or a similar way that you brought that in?
Yeah, he wasn't actually. So I was on the R&B Next album. If you don't know what that is, it's the R&B Next album that Mario and a few people from Rock Nation that they put together for independent artists.
How can people go check that out?
Yes, they can go to www.rnbnext.com.
Okay. The letter R, the letter N, the letter B. Okay.
Yes, RNB and then next.com. There's a part 1. I'm a part of the part 1 album. And then there's a part 2, which is the one Neo hosted. But the first one, Mario hosted. Okay. And so that's another thing. I put Mario, he's my crush, but I put him on my board in July because I wrote a song that was kind of like Let Me Love You, like one of his #1 songs, Let Me Love You. And I was like, oh, it'll be dope. Like if I could work with him one day, or if he could just hear this song. We got to record that one day, actually. But I was like, it could be dope. Like if he heard my version of his song. And then in the end of October is when he reached out to me in my DMs for the R&B Next thing. So that was like 4 months. Yeah. That was big for me. Oh, I used to be in love with him.
Yeah, that was dope. I remember when you were first telling me that, I was like, wow. So you had them on your vision board and it came about. Then I
Yep.
heard the Neo thing. I heard Ray Daniels thing as well. I'm like, oh, okay, this is, we're getting some consistent results here. So I'm like, what is
Yeah.
Miss Vonna doing different?
Yeah.
Because I have my share of things that I manifest and I meditate daily. It's been almost 700 days now. But
Ooh,
I know
what?
that people have their different ways that they do things. I know energy expresses itself differently through whoever it is. So
Yeah.
I knew that people would be able to benefit well off of hearing your story here and be able to implement some of the things that you do into their daily manifestations. Or if they
Yeah.
don't know about manifestation, they're learning now and they can apply some of the things that you're doing.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, some other questions that I had here. Let's see what I got here for you, Ms. Vaughn. I appreciate the time too. Okay, let's
Yeah,
see.
I'm excited about this conversation. I never talked about it like this way before, only to you and then just some other people, like friends, but not for other people to see. So it's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So I got a basic idea of what you're saying here, which I want to try to make a list of it or maybe some PDF or something to where somebody can look at and have a
Okay.
foundation to start from. So we start with some type of cardboard, possibly. I know you have digital vision boards you explained as well.
Oh yeah, I have a digital, yeah, like this type of or a bigger one.
Okay.
But for digital, there's apps that you can make collages with like picture
Yeah.
collages. And so I would just Google a whole bunch. I actually have one on my phone. Okay. Yeah. I basically just Google like the same pictures that I would print out to put on my board. I Google it, download it to my phone, and then just make a collage. And I don't do like the written thing, obviously, because it's virtual, but I have it saved as my screensaver.
Okay.
So whenever I pick up my phone, I get that visual image of the stuff that I'm trying to manifest. So I
And
have
when
it
you
as
see that,
my lock screen and my screensaver.
okay, when you look at it, are you trying to pay attention to it and focus in on a portion of it, or is just there just kind of subconsciously to see as you?
Yeah. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I did it for like the subconscious mind. So, just looking at it, it's already in my mind, like this is what I'm trying to manifest. But most of the time it's unconsciously. I just see it. But it's good to see all throughout the day the stuff that you're trying to, manifest.
Okay, sounds good. So I'm gonna just try to do my best to go through a brief outline of what you said the process is. So this the MsVonnaB process, y'all. Okay, so we're gonna get us a
Exclusive.
vision board. I would say a physical one might be more interesting. Hey, and do the
Yeah.
digital one as well, because then you can see it on your phone, or either take a picture of the physical one and then you can probably use that on your
Yeah, you
phone.
could do that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's actually what I do. So you have your cardboard, you have a certain phrase or something that you want, say it's an apartment. You have a phrase that represents that apartment. Could you give me an example of that?
Yeah. My 2 bedroom, I wanted it to be 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
So I specified the 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. I specified the yard in the front because that complex, it was only 2 apartments that had yards in the front,
Okay.
like actual fenced in yards. So I put that on there too.
Okay.
What else did I put on there? Just specifics like the color carpet. Like I'm always just super specific in the description, like that I write before I put the picture on there.
Okay. So
Yeah.
did we just go over an example of that? Like an example phrase of how you just said you want a 2 bedroom apartment with this and that. You put
Oh
the
yeah. Oh,
specifics
I
in it.
am living, like I always say it as if it's already happened.
Okay.
So I am living in my 2 bedroom, 2 bathroom apartment with my son. We have our yard, stuff like that.
Okay. And so you have that phrase, then you get a picture that represents that. So you went and found a picture of the apartment, printed it out or something,
Yep, printed it
and
out.
then put it on there with that phrase. Put it on there. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So then you have that on there, and you may do that with multiple items, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you have this vision board with multiple, let's just say, phrases and items, pictures on there that represents each one of those individual phrases. Then
Mm-hmm.
now we place it somewhere in the house, like on a wall or something.
Yeah, for me, I would show you, but I don't have much furniture yet. But for me, I usually just place it beside my wall. Like, so when I wake up, I
Uh,
see it. And then before I go to bed, like I actually just lay in bed and do like the meditation that I was telling you about
uh-huh.
while I'm looking at it on my wall.
Okay, so what's that meditation you was telling me about?
What'd you say?
What is that meditation that you were telling me about? How is that? So what's what's the process of that meditation? Is it
Oh yeah, I start off with breathing. So like in it's never like specific, but I just focus on being calm and focus on being like in a positive vibration, I guess, to attract it. But a lot of times when I breathe in, I'm breathing in positivity, and then I set my intention. When I breathe out, I'm breathing out all the negative, energies or whatever.
okay? And so that's you
Yeah.
do that to ground yourself, and then as you're in this state, let's just say you're laying in the bed or sitting in the chair or something like that.
Hmm.
Okay, with your
Yeah.
eyes
I'm
closed.
always I'm always laying.
Okay, you're laying.
Yeah.
Okay, all
My
right.
eyes closed.
Okay, so laying down, eyes closed, breathing, out negativity, breathing in positivity. Then do you start going
Yeah.
into a visualization of a particular item on your vision board that you want to bring in from there?
Yeah, I go like one by one. So whichever one that I want to manifest the quickest,
Hmm.
I start with that one first. And then, go to the next one. And at the end, I just visualize it all happening like as a lifestyle. Like, I'm in this place, I'm surrounded by these people, this is the way I am. Cause I manifest things too, like staying positive.
Hmm.
I try not to be so negative. So I put stuff like that. Like I print out the word, this, I'm working on my self-esteem. And I
Hmm.
print out the word, self-esteem. And before I, you know, uh, glue that on there, I kind of write like an affirmation, like, I am becoming more confident. I am, self-assured and stuff like that. So, and what was I saying before that?
So you were talking about the what you actually write out. We went from laying down, eyes closed, breathing in and out,
Mm-hmm.
then thinking about the particular. Oh, you said one item at a time, right?
Yeah, I usually start with the one that I want to manifest the quickest. I start with that one and
Uh-huh.
then just go to the next one. And then at the end, oh, this is what I was saying. At the end, I, visualize it happening all together, just like a lifestyle. Like this is how my life
Okay.
is. Yeah.
Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you going over each individual item of your vision board individually and then as a collective at the end as a lifestyle. Now,
Yeah.
do you do this every single time or sometimes you just focus on one thing and that is what it is?
No, I do every single time.
Okay, but you just
Yeah.
start with the thing that you want to bring in the fastest,
Yeah.
the soonest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then throughout your day, you have um, at least 8 times that you may think about it, place yourself in the feeling and emotional state of, or a particular scenario of having this particular thing that you want to have in life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. As
All
well,
throughout the day.
all throughout the day. Okay. As
Yeah.
well as having that picture of your vision board on your devices that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got a multiple amount of compounding there. They say,
Yeah.
I guess, the law of repetition. Or repetition is one of the laws of the mind. So
Yeah.
that repetition I see is kind of building with the multiple times that you go over it in your head every day, the
Mm-hmm.
time that you see it on your phone. Let's just say unconsciously, not even thinking about having it as a screensaver, a background in your phone or the desktop of
Yeah.
your computer or sort. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And I think for me, like visualizing it all throughout the day, it keeps me in alignment. Like I can't really think about, manifesting a relationship or like a working relationship with big people if I know I have attitude throughout the day or something
Yeah.
like that. Or I can't positively think about me being in my new place, you know, if I'm not in the right space. So having to think about it, or not having to, but visualizing it throughout the day, it keeps the energy flowing in a good way. I think
Okay.
for me,
Perfect.
yeah,
And I see it's important to have yourself in a grounded, positive state before you try to, you know, do these particular instances of visualizing yourself with the item that you want.
Yeah.
I'm taking, that's what I'm taking from what you're saying. You don't want to be in this negative space of feeling angry, and then you want to close your eyes or think about the stuff that you want. That's not going to work. Okay. Sounds good. So I know it's some other things that you have that you manifested that, one particular big thing that happened not too long ago.
I get so nervous talking about that, but I'm so excited.
And we'll just vaguely talk about it here, but it's a major distribution deal, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so we'll leave it at that. With a major company, we can't reveal it until they reveal it, or until Ms. Vonna reveals it after them. Let's say.
Yeah.
So if they happen to reveal it in the time before we release this video, we might be able to include it then. Maybe we'll put some text on this video to let them know what it actually is. Yep. But yeah, just know that it's something big, and y'all seen the other big things that she did or manifested, which is the places 2 apartments basically. With other items, relationships with people that you admire and you want to have as a part of your success and upward movement as a person and an artist. Yeah, so most definitely. Well, I ain't gonna take up all of your time here, and I appreciate the time that you gave to us here, because I know a lot of people are gonna listen to this video and get a lot out of it, and we looking forward to see some of other people's manifestations off of this MsVonnaB process that we're gonna say here. And then I'm going to try to, go back over the video and maybe compile a PDF or a quick little list of, things that kind of help people go over and have a checklist of some of the things to do. Yep. Anything else you want to offer to the people?
No, I think that's it. Thank you for having me for this conversation.
My pleasure. Yeah, I appreciate you giving me the time to actually be able to talk to you. I know we talk about these things a lot in the studio, meditation, all that type of stuff, manifestation, visualization, all these different things. And, we're able to share stories, because I have a lot of things that I manifested, fast and, as well. So it's most definitely a good discussion to have, and, something good for people to actually listen to help aid with their success and the way that they feel. So yeah, most definitely, we definitely appreciate your time, and want to wish you the most best success you can have, and we look forward to seeing some of your other manifestations that you have. We want to say congratulations to the things that you've actually achieved thus far. I know this is just a fraction of the sky ain't even the limit of what you actually going to achieve. So we look forward to seeing that. And y'all, we have MsVonnaB here. The handle is MsVonnaB on social media platforms. And we actually started a spiritual group here. So we're going to be a part of that spiritual group, and we're going to offer this video inside of that group. I have a list of at least 20 people that's in there, including, yourself. So hopefully we'll be able to put this in as one of the first videos. But yeah, again, I just want to say thank you. You know what I'm saying? Much love your way. Looking forward to the next time we get in the studio. We've made a lot of hits and nice songs thus far. And the energy is always dope, because we here, with the same purpose in mind, to make dope music and to have a good, wonderful, energetic, positive experience. And we hope everybody else does the same thing.
Yep.
Yeah, enjoy your day. And till next time, like I say, thank you. I appreciate all your time.
Thank you.
All right,
you have a good day too.
You too. Bye.